Good evening, everyone. And I think before I start, congratulations to all the winners who are going to probably be, I don't know if it's been disclosed or not, but I think all of you must be here this evening. I think I've been asked to speak on the future of women entrepreneurship. I think there's a great future if you look at the statistics which was just recently come out in a Bain report along with Google, that by 2030, there are going to be 400 million women who would be out there in the market for employment. So that's a huge number. We are going to be 1 billion Indians who will be looking for jobs by 2030, out of which 40% are going to be women. And out of those 40%, around more than 20% will be graduates. So would the economy grow to be able to employ 1 billion people, and out of which 400 million will be women who are seeking employment? I think there's a lot of underemployment in women if you look at it that way. Today, out of the women entrepreneurs who are there, about 20% of the entire entrepreneurship in this country is led by women. And out of these 20% women who are entrepreneurs, 80% are solopreneurs, women who are on their own. So if an urban club beautician visits your home, she's an entrepreneur, but she's on her own. And she doesn't create employment. She herself is a self-employed entrepreneur. The future lies with the women entrepreneurs who are here, who have succeeded, who have the passion, right, who have been able to attract capital to actually be able to become real entrepreneurs. Real entrepreneurship comes out of, firstly, by employing people, and then secondly, by creating wealth, not only for yourself, but for the social good at large. Why do I say that women entrepreneurship is very critical? I think 3 reasons. One is that women entrepreneurs actually have much bigger and larger social impact. They are the people who actually think of the society at large when they do any kind of a business. They're not very self-centered, so they are always focused towards the outward and social impact. They're concerned about the social impact they're making. The second thing is that a woman, when she makes money, 80% of that money is reinvested by her in her own family, either health or education. So that creates a much bigger impact on the family and the good of the family. The third aspect of a women entrepreneur is that she professionalizes the organization much faster than men do. So it's something which has been proven. And if Prime Minister Modi's vision of taking this economy to the 5 trillion, 10 trillion kind of a vision which he has, without the 400 million women who are going to be looking for a job, even if we are able to turn those 20% of them into entrepreneurs, they will have enough wealth creation to employ the rest of the other 380 million odd women left behind. So I think it's extremely critical. I must congratulate Business World for having instituted this award for women entrepreneurs. And I think whoever the winner is, I think they should really become the kind of role model for other women to follow. And that's the role which you should play, that you should actually be very visible. I think one thing which Indian entrepreneurs lack is that they don't create enough visibility for themselves. And I think what's required in India is that every successful women entrepreneur should not shy away from actually going out in the media, going out to such events, and projecting herself as a successful woman. So we need women as role models for other women. We don't need men to be role models for other women. So that's extremely critical. So when you're seeking, I'm a venture capitalist, right? I run 2 funds. So one fund, right, both my funds are actually run by women. We have Natasha here who runs the fund for early stage ventures, which is doing very well. And then I have a fund which invests in aerospace and defense. Anyone would say, why should an aerospace and defense fund be run by a woman? you'll be surprised that in ISRO, some of the top scientists are women. In pharmaceuticals, if you look at the pharmaceutical industry, most of the R&D, almost 60%, is run by women. So most of the scientific mind, the research labs in this country are being run by women. So why can't those women, when they do their IP, most of the IPs get taken by their husbands. You'll be surprised that whenever a scientist discovers anything or a woman, and the IP has to be registered, the IP gets registered in the name of the husband. So I don't know why women are so keen to give up what they create themselves. I think what the sociologists tell me is that because of the family and patriarchal society which we have, right? Children are named after the father, not after the mother. So everything, the wealth which gets created in a family gets attributed to the head of the family, which happens to be a male. So I think my advice to all the women here is that if you create wealth, the wealth you have created, it's you. So be greedy, right? So if you're greedy, you keep things to yourself, and the more wealth you create for yourself, as I said, women are the entrepreneurs who really have much bigger, larger social impact because you have a bigger heart. You give much more than men do, right? So it's a fact. So we would want more and more wealth to be created by women so that it gets distributed much faster and percolates to the socially weak. I think the future, as I said, is important that we do encourage women entrepreneurs. I said that if 400 million women get either employed or become entrepreneurs, there will be an addition of about 28% to the GDP. So it's important to get women into the mainstream, not in terms of increasing their employability, but also encouraging them to be entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurship does not only create wealth, it does create new products, it does create new lifestyle, it does create employment. So it's extremely important that women take on to entrepreneurship because you are independent, right? You can actually, some people tell me when some women come to seek capital from us that why do you want to be an entrepreneur, right? Most of the people say that it gives them an opportunity for a work and family kind of a balance. They can work at the time which they determine, and they can work at the pace at which they want. So it's extremely important that entrepreneurship actually gives you that flexibility to balance your life and also be able to decide when to give up, when to start, when to stop. So entrepreneurship allows you to walk in, walk out of your enterprise. So if we are not able to get women entrepreneurs and increase the number of women entrepreneurs, I think we are in for a crisis in the sense that India would not know what to do with 400 million women who would be out there seeking jobs. So India has done extremely well in creating jobs for women in terms of IT, in terms of back office operations, call centers, whatever you may call them. But those are low-end jobs. I think where we are looking for is, and we are encouraging when we look at women entrepreneurs and we want to invest behind, is that are they creating enough products for the women themselves? You'll be surprised that 70 to 80% of the FMCG products decisions are made by the women. But all marketing, right, all product development is done by men. So why can't women develop products for themselves? There's a huge market sitting out there for just women products. So we have invested behind a lot of companies, new startups which are coming up, which are looking at women hygiene products. So even women hygiene products are being developed by men and sold by men. Marketing campaigns made by men. So who would know women better than women themselves? So you have a sitting captive market. So any entrepreneur, a women entrepreneur who is sitting there, I think has a captive market as long as you are treading into familiar territories of knowing your own market, which is you. So I think congratulations once again to all the winners, and become role models for other women, and come out in the open and say, yes, I have the passion, I am there, I am greedy, I want to be rich, so other women follow in your footsteps. Thank you very much for giving. Thank you.